So I kind of took it as like a test for myself of like, can I create my own personal brand with a niche that I'm very interested in already, that I'm already doing stuff in already, CrossFit, fitness, and can I grow that?
This is the Blue Collar Entrepreneur Show, episode 45. I'm your host, Kurt Belding, and I've got a guest today, you guys. My guest here is Bria. Bria has a marketing degree. She's a marketing manager for a pretty cool company that we're going to talk about later, and does a lot on social media that I think would be super interesting for this episode to talk about the business side of Instagram and social media. So welcome, Bria.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
So let's start with I want to know more about you and where you came from. And we were talking earlier. You came from Cali, and you went to school out here in CU Boulder. Is that correct?
Yep.
Right. What brought you out here?
Pretty much school. It's funny. When I was applying for colleges, I applied all in state in California and was like, I'm gonna stay here. I love California, and then on a whim, I applied to Oregon and Colorado, got into both, and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see what Colorado's like.
Right.
And just ended up here. I love that Boulder is like the fittest city in the world. That was really appealing to me when I first started school. I actually wanted to be a nutritionist, which is kind of funny because I feel like it kind of went full circle in a sense.
Okay.
That I'm not a nutritionist, but I work for a nutrition app. So,
Real quick, what's the name of that company you work for?
Macrostax.
Macrostax, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing macro, but I didn't put the two.
So macro and then STAX.
Yeah, which is like basically you get to calculate it's an app, right?
Yeah.
An app that calculates your macros for you, and you can follow it.
Yeah, so
right.
It gives you a customized macro plan, and then in addition to that, we also have custom recipes, macro tracking, pretty much everything all in one, access to a nutrition coach. You have it all right in the app.
Yeah, that's great.
So.
My wife is going to love that. She's counting her macros right now, and every day she's like weighing her stuff, and oh man, that doesn't fit my macros, and I'm just laughing, and like everything fits in my macros. You know. So she'll love that. Her friends do the macro counting too, so they'll love that too. So I'm to definitely introduce that. All right, back up. I got off track.
No worries.
So
grew up
in California. And we'll definitely get into that for sure. Grew up in California, just on a whim applied to Colorado. And did you visit the state?
No, I had never been. I hadn't even come until I got in and was like, I should probably check out the city before I go here. Or, it was one of the potentials that I was looking at. And I was actually sick the entire time that I was checking out the school. But
oh, shit, that sucks.
Doing my research, they really sell you on the, I think it's 300 days of sunshine in Colorado.
Yep. But it is, though. It's it may be snowing right now, but it was sunny earlier today, so that counts as a sunshine day.
Yeah. They'll mark it. But yeah, I think really just the health aspect really appealed to me. I've always kind of been into health and fitness, so.
So Boulder was really an attractant to because it's one of the healthiest cities.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I think so. And I think just the appeal of going somewhere new. And I kind of set myself up in a way that I didn't have a lot of options besides California. When I actually realized that I don't have to go to school in California, I can go back anytime I want.
Right. You were picking between Oregon and Colorado. That was your two.
Well, it was more so California and Colorado.
Oh, okay.
I applied to Oregon pretty much because all my friends had applied too, but I in my head I was like, there's no way I don't want to go there. Nothing against Oregon, but it just didn't seem like a good fit.
Sure. So did you grow up in a fitness-oriented family?
No, not really. I think I'm probably the only one that's into fitness in my family.
Okay.
And they're not. I mean, my parents aren't very supportive about it, to be honest. But yeah, I think.
Is fitness is bad for you and you should stop? Not supportive.
More so lifting weights is bad. The common, women shouldn't lift weights.
Yeah, you're gonna get really big and bulky and look like a dude.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. I was told that, for however many years from my parents. But I think it was more so just the nutrition aspect. My dad actually got cancer in 2013, and he changed his diet up at the recommendation of his doctor because I think they were telling him that, you know, avoiding red meat and certain things would help him in the long run.
Sure.
So that kind of made me interested in it as well, as like nutrition as a way to heal your body, or, you know, as I kind of just saw it in a different way at that time, and just got more interested in it through that.
100%. Like, the next thing that I preach a ton is your body literally regenerates billions of cells every day, and your body is made up of the food that you eat. So if you're eating a bunch of crap, you're going to be crap. Like, your body's going to be crap, right? So like cancer, there's a lot of theories out there that cancer is caused by what you're putting in your body. So by eating healthier food, staying in an alkaline balanced diet, and keeping the acidic stuff out can do wonders for cancer, and a lot of times can prevent cancer. Like, I'm not a doctor, all right? I'm not saying this is what's going to cure cancer, but I truly believe that food equals health, and what you eat literally will become your body.
And even if it's not necessarily proven to do anything for cancer, like it's not going to hurt to just eat better and nourish yourself. So why not do that?
All right, so that's really the first time you really got into nutrition, understand nutrition, looked at it.
Before that, I kind of, you know, as I think as a woman, it's pretty common to have like body image issues, self-esteem issues. So before that, I was kind of chubby, and I would kind of diet in like ways that I thought like would help me get skinny in a sense. You
like
know,
not eating for 3
school.
days or something.
Like like just, you know, not eating really anything. I tried being pescatarian for a little while too.
I don't even know what that is. Is that a religion?
So it's it's vegetarian, except you can still eat fish.
Okay.
So they call it pescatarian. Yeah.
I thought you meant like I'm Lutheran or something like that.
No.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is.
No.
So fish, vegetarian, but you can eat fish.
So I was a pescatarian for 5 years. I adhered to that diet for 5 years.
That must be tough. Veggies and fish?
It wasn't that hard. I love fish. I grew up, I'm half Chinese. I grew up eating a lot of sushi, a lot of fish, a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of why I didn't want to be full vegetarian, because I didn't want to give up sushi.
Yeah,
so,
for sure, 100%.
It was not too bad to follow, especially living in California when you have access to fresh fish.
So let's go into real quick what you just said about body image, especially for women, because you could relate with that a lot, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think there's a big misconception, and I really enjoy this. We're a bit of a different podcast right now. Like, usually I talk a lot about business, but right now we're talking about fitness, and so I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
So let's talk about body image, women, especially the weight training. If I want to be healthy, I have to like basically eat no calories, eat salads for every meal. Huge misconceptions out there on how to be fit and healthy, correct? So tell me about your experience with that.
Well, going off of just misconceptions in general, I think the most common one that I get is like, I like all over my Instagram, I always get comments on like, oh my gosh, you lift so much weight, but you're like slender and feminine, and like I know they mean it as a compliment, but a lot of the time I'm like, okay, like I get you're saying that I don't have muscle, or that like I don't like look strong to you.
Yeah. But I think what that is like, oh my God, you lift so much weight, and there's so much fear if I go weightlift, I'm gonna look like a guy and be all bulky and all this muscle. They're like, how do you stay slender and feminine when you're lifting so much weight? And we both know the truth of it is, if you lift, I've been trying to get big for 20, 30 years.
Right.
I'm still not big. Right?
Yeah.
So,
and that's that's where I was kind of going with that. Is that like that misconception of like, oh, if I lift a weight, I'm gonna like all of a sudden just blow up. Like if I have protein, all of a sudden I'm just gonna blow up. And in reality, people's full-time jobs are spent to get big. Like it's work.
It's a lot.
It's not easy. And like I'm trying to get bigger arms. My arms are tiny, and I still don't have big arms after 6 years of doing CrossFit. So I mean, I can attest it's not easy to just blow up and get big.
So you can check off on this for me, ladies out there. By picking up a weight, you're not going to look like a dude. Am I right?
Right.
You're not going to go big and bulky by eating protein and having protein shakes. You're not going to be all masculine.
Yeah,
correct.
And I think a lot of it too just has to do with lifestyle, diet, your genetics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not just like that singular thing is gonna then associate to big weights or big muscular look, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. All right, so you got into nutrition because your dad was. Is your dad okay now, or did he make it?
Yeah,
okay.
yes, he's cancer free. He's been cancer free, I think, since like 2015. So he's doing really
Great.
well. Yeah.
Good. That was your first introduction to that. You picked Colorado because you realized you didn't want to be in California, and this is really, and you never even visited, right? So,
Yeah.
and did you take a trip to Colorado before?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I took a trip with my dad actually, and then decided to come here after that trip. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And so you went to school, so you Boulder got a degree in marketing,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Double degree in
Double
marketing
degree.
and psychology.
Which is huge. Now we'll go into the business part of this, right?
Yeah.
So I think that psychology is marketing. Marketing is psychology. They go hand in hand 100%. You want to hear something funny? So I got a degree in counseling, and I own a bunch of businesses. Guess how many business classes I've taken?
0.
I was taking one, but I was failing it, so I dropped it. So basically zero business classes, where like you can't learn business in college. And you may be able to learn some sorts of marketing, but if you don't understand psychology of people and psychology of the consumer, you're not going to be a good marketer. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I would say that you can definitely learn to an extent, but I think with how fast technology is going right now, the most that I have learned marketing business-wise has been outside of college, just applying it in the real world in my job.
Doing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
college teaches you the basics, but honestly, it's kind of getting dated at this point because of how fast everything is moving. Everything is digital now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in school, even, like a couple of years ago, they were teaching like billboard advertising and like, newspaper, like how often do you get somebody
So outdated.
wanting to put an ad in the newspaper?
Mm-hmm. That's not where marketing is
Like
at.
yeah, it's just, I mean, it's not happening anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can take the same concepts of billboard, which is now Instagram,
Right.
newspaper,
Exactly.
which is now LinkedIn and Facebook, right? So it's the same
Yeah.
concept, just different platforms for
Exactly.
marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would you, knowing that now,
Yeah.
would you still go to school and get a degree in marketing?
I don't know. It's tough to answer because I think school teaches you a lot of like good life skills, and it's good for teaching structure, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it really depends on the person and if you need that or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just for what I've learned specifically, I think I've learned the most just being in the job. But with our society, it's hard to just go into a job without any prereqs. So
It's
you
true.
kind of have to go get your degree
It's true.
to be qualified enough to get the job that'll then teach you.
Which is ridiculous, right? Like, I mean, if you're an entrepreneur like me, I needed zero schooling, right? I just do, and that's how you learn, right?
Mhm.
But if you're gonna work for someone else, like you work for a company,
Right.
you
Yeah.
probably would not have got that job if you didn't have the degree.
Right.
Right.
And if I hadn't worked at a advertising agency before or
Yep.
done internships, and I think that's a fair thing to have, because you don't want to be a business owner and hire somebody without any qualifications.
For sure.
But I think there could be a lot more weight on maybe somebody's character, or just how they are as a worker without necessarily having the skills.
Absolutely. And understanding and knowing that marketing is not really learned in the classroom. Like, okay, you have the degree, so you understand the basics of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, we had a social media marketing person that I trained and mentored and taught, and now she went off and got this really badass marketing job, which is great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the doing that actually
Yeah,
got her
definitely.
there. Which I think is super interesting, how like you had to go to college to get the job with someone else, but you knew in college I wasn't really preparing you for that job for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Where college is a business just like anything
Right.
else.
Mm-hmm.
Where like you had to check that box to be able to get that job, but it really wasn't as valuable as actually doing the job. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Right?
and the knowledge is really just going to be dependent on the job, the industry, where you are. I'm sure marketing for a nutrition app is going to be a lot different than marketing for like an oil company or something. Something
Yeah.
like way on the other side of the spectrum. So.
Yeah, for 100%. But at the same time, though, attention is attention,
Mhm.
right? So if I was in
Yeah.
the market for that oil company, my demographics, my population who I'm talking to is different.
Right.
But the way that I talk to them, the platforms I use might really be the same, similar. I don't know if you agree to that or not, but that's my perception of marketing, is really where the attention's at, right? So let me slide right into your Instagram, because that is your side hustle, but your business outside of your full-time job. And I don't know, a lot of people right now out there watching would love to be able to make money on their social media. Tell me how that happened for you and your experience with that.
So we were just talking about doing, and that's kind of the application that I took when I started my Instagram. I was in college still, and I was thinking of a way that I could start applying marketing and applying what I'm learning, or at least testing what I'm learning and kind of learning through what I'm doing on social media. And yeah, I've just been learning and growing since then.
Which I think that is huge, and here's why. I get hit all the time on people saying, I can promote your business, I can promote your social media, and the first thing I do is I look at their social media. I literally had someone DM me yesterday saying everything they could do for my social media, and I looked at their social media and they weren't doing anything for their own. Like, why would I hire someone that doesn't do anything for themselves in their own social media to run my social media?
Yeah, and it's kind of like your resume almost.
It is your resume.
That's kind of what I took it as. This is something that I can put on my resume and show other brands, like, hey, look, I'm doing this for myself. Like, I can apply this to your brand as well.
Yeah, I think that's super important. And I think that was super smart for you to do that. Instead of saying, I have a marketing degree, I can help you market, you literally did it for yourself to show, look, I know how to market, and this is what I can do for you.
Yeah, and it's definitely helped get jobs, so.
Yeah. Instagram. Tell me about Instagram. Is that a love-hate thing, or do you enjoy it a lot?
I would say it's a love-hate thing. I think with the way that the algorithm is right now, it's like a, constantly on, constantly posting, constantly going type of thing, which I don't necessarily love. But I do love that I have a platform that I get to connect with other people on that has brought me experiences like this one. That continues to bring me new experiences, and I get to meet new people and kind of learn new things off of. That's what I really love about it. I love that I can hopefully inspire others to just be healthier, lead healthier lives, and if I can help somebody else through that, then that is honestly like the payment that I need, or that makes all the like negatives about it kind of go away.
Yeah. Well, I think what Instagram does, or any social media platform, instead of having 2 degrees of separation, now you have 0. You can literally direct message anybody you want through social media, and you're contacting them. Instead of, like for us, right, we got in contact, actually Ian contacted you for social media, be my platform. Without that, then that would not have happened, correct? Yeah. So, and right now, if I wanted to go direct message John Elway, I can do it. There is no 3 degrees. I don't have to go up a chain of people to get to John Elway. I could literally direct message him. He may not read it. He may not respond back to me, but I could touch him right there through social media, which I think is super important, especially for marketing.
And that's kind of a crazy concept. It's almost like you have their like phone number in your pocket, pretty much.
It is.
With how direct it is.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. Yeah.
All right, so you're marketing for this macro company. Tell me about that. What's your strategies for marketing for them?
Our strategy, so...
I mean, don't give away the secret sauce. They may be mad at you. But.
No, I mean, there's no like secret sauce really. Like we're here to help people reach their goals. I think we talk about this daily, but our mission is that we want to help people. So, we talked about this earlier, but saying gimmicky things like lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks is something that we feel very strongly against.
Sure.
And I think my goal as a marketer and the marketer for the company is that I want to do it in a positive way that's actually going to create lasting change. So telling somebody you can lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks isn't going to help them actually keep the weight off. That's going to attract them to want to lose the weight really fast and may not be sustainable. And I think especially with, just the way that the dieting industry is, I think it's really important to not put those misconceptions out there and to kind of, I think, reshape the way that we talk about dieting and the way we talk about food. I think there's a lot of negative connotations around eating and eating a lot, and something beautiful about counting macros is that you can eat more than you ever have before. A lot of people experience that they were eating 1,400 calories and not losing weight, and then they start counting macros and they can eat 2,000 calories and start losing weight.
Yeah.
And it's it's awesome to see people kind of have that mental shift of this is going to be sustainable for me to do for the rest of my life. It's not just a quick, like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in a month and then gain it all back the next month.
Right. So there's two things I want to hit on. One, we were just talking about is the misconception of if I want to lose weight, I have to eat less. Where if you eat less, you may lose a little bit of weight because your body's not used to consuming that many calories. But your body changes to adapt to that low-calorie lifestyle, and you're going to stop losing weight.
Right.
You can't just keep eating less and less and less and less and lose weight. So the reality of it is you eat more, it speeds up your metabolism, retrains your metabolism, and you can actually lose weight and be healthy and not have to worry about that rock and a hard place you get into by dropping calories.
Right. Yeah, and then your energy levels go up. You feel better.
Then you
You're
get
not
to eat.
hangry all the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits to it. Yeah.
So yeah, you're preaching to the choir there. And the other thing I want to talk about is the business side of what you just said, where the difference between marketing and branding. If I market, lose 20 pounds in 20 days or whatever, that gimmicky stuff, I'll pull in a client and I might be able to close a client for a little bit. Branding is setting up your company for long term, so you can keep much larger client base for a long period of time. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about, without saying branding. So what you're doing for this company is not necessarily marketing. It is, but it's more branding. It's setting that company up for long term, have a long term success. Correct, right? Yeah. So what would you say your difference is between marketing and branding?
I don't know. I think they're pretty intertwined. I think you explained it pretty well. Like, branding is how you want people to maybe subconsciously or consciously think about your company, what you want their emotions to associate with, or what emotions you want them to associate with you. Like, do you want, to be associated with, funny company, or, like I think an example is, I think Pizza Hut on social media is always like super snappy and sassy. So I would associate with them, like the goofy goofball kind of company that wants to appeal to millennials. And I think for us, we really want to associate with positivity and maybe, I think like positivity, positive life changes, just that really positive aspect of people meeting their goals and finding a sustainable way to do so.
Yeah, 100%. And that long term for you is going to make success for that company, right? So, all right, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Let's talk about CrossFit.
Yeah.
So why CrossFit? For all those people right now are thinking, oh my God, CrossFit's horrible for you. It's the worst thing you could do, because I hear it all the time. I'm in the fitness industry. Like, people are nice to me. They're like, oh, you do CrossFit? Oh, cool. No, it's just a little scary. But I know behind my back they're saying, screw that. I'm not doing CrossFit. You're going to get hurt. Yeah. So why CrossFit?
For me, I think it's really fun. I'm a very competitive person. So I think I love the ability to kind of be competitive still as an adult that doesn't play sports anymore. Or, CrossFit is, I guess, a sport. But, and just the I guess, what is it? Every day you go in, you're kind of doing something different. I love that it's varied. And that, there's always something to improve on. I mean, I've been doing it for 6 years and I still don't feel like I'm good at a lot of things, which is kind of the fun of it for me, is I get to feel like I'm getting better every day.
Right. This is really funny because I was just over here at 24 Hour Fitness doing a quick workout before this podcast. And I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he asked me the same question, and I literally said the exact same thing. Yeah, I was like, well, actually, truthfully, honestly, I said, the first part of it was, well, I get to eat more of whatever the hell I want, and I can stay in shape.
That too.
When I'm traditional lifting, like just bodybuilding type of lifting, you have to be so strict on your diet to keep a six-pack, and it gets really boring.
Yeah.
So now 15-minute workout, I can bust that out, stay in super good shape, kind of eat what I want for the most part. And it's fun. It's always something's always new, and I've been doing it for 5 years. And there's tons of movements that I'm not good at.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm so competitive. I'm super competitive, but in a good, fun.
Yeah, in a fun way.
And the culture. And
right.
Yeah, so I love to go in there and compete against myself, compete against other people, and it makes me work out harder, and I stay in shape easier. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see yourself ever doing anything else?
I don't know. It's tough. I did a little bit of an Olympic weightlifting stint for a little while.
Olympic weightlifting.
Yeah, I got really competitive in CrossFit in, I would say, 2016, 2017. And then I kind of got a little burnt out and decided to just focus on Olympic weightlifting for, I would say, like the whole year of 2018. Which is fun, but I think I came to the conclusion that I like training more than competing. Every time I would compete, I would just really get in my head. It wasn't a good experience for me. It would be way too hard on myself.
Competing in Olympic
lifting, yeah.
Not CrossFit.
Yeah. So then I kind of decided, like, I want to go back to CrossFit, and then recently I kind of decided that I wanted to go back to being competitive in CrossFit, and kind of got that competitive bug again.
Yeah, I can see both of. I used to run track in high school, and I'd get so nervous before my event. Mm-hmm. I could see that happening in Olympic lifting because it's a one-on-one sport. Like it's not a team.
Yeah.
And CrossFit you can compete as a team, but a lot of it is still one-on-one stuff. So.
And it's very technical and just it's intense. Like when you go out on the platform, everyone gets quiet, which is a lot different than if you go out on the competition floor in CrossFit. Mm-hmm. Everyone's still cheering, it's still loud, the music's still going, but in weightlifting, like, it's all about focus. Mm-hmm. And there's no music, there's no one talking, it's just you and the barbell, literally, and people watching you.
It's nerve-wracking.
And it's kind of scary, and it's like, you have 3 chances to make each lift. So if you don't make it on the first chance, it's like, okay, shoot, I got to rethink my game plan.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really big mental sport, and I think it was too much for me at the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No, and I get it. One of the big things that I use CrossFit for is mental toughness, and I actually use it a lot, for sure, in business. Like, business is a mental game. Like 90% of it is everything up here. So I use CrossFit a lot of time to build my mental toughness for business, but I also use it for hunting. We talked about me hunting, so I use it to stay in shape be able to hike in the mountains.
Yeah, and carry something on your back.
Oh my God, yeah. I took Ian. We filmed a hunt this last year, and we got a bull, and it was hard, wasn't it? It was super hard. You had to be in super shape. Yeah. We packed out the bull on our backs, and it was like super hard. If I wasn't doing CrossFit, I wasn't working out in general.
I mean, how much weight would you say that is?
Anywhere between 70 to 90 pounds on your back.
Yeah, and that's a lot when you're climbing up mountains and going through brush. I've never done it myself, but I put a 70-pound bag on my shoulder, so I can imagine how rough that must have been.
Yeah. You know what, like, I didn't realize was the hardest part? I thought going uphill was going to be super hard with a heavy pack. It was going downhill. Because it's like a million little lunges.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Going downhill.
I bet your legs were smoked after
Oh my gosh, we're pretty spent on it. All right, we covered where you grew up, California girl, out here in Colorado, marketing degree, owns her own business, social media, and loves CrossFit. So, Bria, thanks so much for being on the Blue Collar Entrepreneur Show, episode 45. If you want to follow Bria's socials handles are
_Bria Lee.
Bria Lee.
Yes.
All right, guys, follow her. Check out her CrossFit stuff and her marketing. Thanks for watching.